Hey guys, sorry I don't have an intro for you today, but this is the look that I did. Of course, I started off with some shadow primer, and I definitely used the Too Faced Shadow Insurance Primer. I love it. It does so well in bringing out colors. I just put it all over my eyes liberally. Then I'm going in with Tempera, and I'm going to be packing it on the inner corners of my eyes. I will be bringing it just under the brows and then dragging whatever's left on the brush down towards the rest of my eyelid. I find when there's a wash of color all over, of a light color, it does let everything blend very nicely on top. Then I'm going to be going in with Realgar, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm using a blending brush, and I'm going to be focusing on the outer corner of my eyelids, but I will be dragging it in under my eye sockets or crease area for other people. This is going to act as my transition color, so I do want a light wash of it everywhere, so I do take my time in blending it out. Again, just some more blending and blending and blending. When you do darker eye colors, you really want to build up to that deep color, so there will be a lot of blending and packing involved. Then I'm going in with Venetian Red, and I'm using the same brush actually, and I'm using the same technique here where I start on the outer corner in little circular motions to really pack that color on, and then once most of the color has left the brush, I will start dragging it in on the eye socket areas to bring it in. I don't want to drag the color too far in though, because I do still want the tempera that we applied first to be able to be seen. I really like the contrast between the light and the dark. Lots of blending and packing. I don't know what else to say other than blending and packing. Now that we've deepened it up with some more warm colors, we're actually going to be using Cyprus Umber now to further deepen it up. I'm just taking it in on a pointed crease brush and just very roughly putting it on the outer corners, just creating a very rough V. The lines don't have to be too nice because we are going in and blending it out with that blending brush. So make sure to take your time when you're blending. And then just going back in with Tempera on the inner corners, I really want to make sure that the lightness is still there, but after going in with Tempera, you don't want to get rid of any of the other colors. So you're going to go back in with that brush and make sure you didn't wash out any color with Tempera. Next, I am going in with more Tempera, but now I'm using a smudge brush and putting it on my brow bone just to highlight my brow. And then I did put on some eyeliner and a pair of false lashes. The lashes I used were Kiss Shy lashes. And then I'm using one of my new favorite mascaras, which is the Maybelline Total Temptation mascara in black. It is waterproof, of course. Then I'm going in with my Maybelline SuperStay foundation. I was so glad that I found this foundation. I did put a drop of argan oil in it. It's just nice to find a full coverage foundation that isn't too drying and it's not too matte either. And I'm just blending this out with my flower blending sponge. I'm going to be using my favorite concealer as a highlight today. It's the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. I use it in the shade Sand. And because I know I'm going in with another concealer, I'm not using any of this concealer under my eyes today, just on areas where I want to highlight and a little bit on my blemish above my brow. I'm going to be going in with the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye under my eyes. It is a full coverage concealer, which I can really appreciate. I do have a lot of puffiness under my eyes, and that can't take that away, obviously, but getting rid of the color works for me. This is a super tacky concealer, so you do want to make sure you go in with a powder right after. I'm going in with Coty Airspun before any of my concealer sets into my fine lines so that I can set this concealer down. I'm not actually baking, I'm just using the sponge to apply the powder and press it in. And then I am going in with a flat liner brush and I'm just packing in some Venetian red. Over top of the Venetian red, I'm going in with a round shader brush and just applying some Cyprus Umber. To line my lower lash line, I'm going to be going in with Wet n Wild's waterproof liquid liner in black and just lining the under lash line. To set that, I will be going in with some more Cyprus Umber. Just did the same thing to this eye. And next I'm going in with one of my favorite bronzers, the Physician Formula Bronzer, Butter Bronzer in bronzer. I'm just putting that all over my face very lightly, so the cheekbones, the forehead, and the jawline. And then to actually contour, I'm going in with my e.l.f. contour palette and using the darkest shade. I'm just going to be using the same brush, but just flattening it out so that it applies the color a little bit more densely. Then after that, I let go and just buff it all out. Next, I'm using the, I think it's like the banana shade of the e.l.f. palette, but it's just a shade darker than my skin tone, barely, and I really like a light nose contour, so I used that instead. And then I'm going in with my Milani blush, which I really adore. I have it in the shade Tea Rose. And then I'm going to use one of my favorite highlighters, my everyday highlighters, which is the Essence Pure Nude. Just to do a light wash, I will be going in with an eyeshadow, which is Vermeer. I'm going to be just using the same brush, but just pinpointing the tops of my cheekbones, my nose, and then my Cupid's bow. Then I'm going in with my NYX Lip Primer. And then using one of my favorite liquid lipsticks, I'm going in with NYX Lingerie in the shade Teddy. I know it looks really dark because my eyes are dark and my lips are dark, but that was kind of the vibe I was going for. And that's the end of this look. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.